Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is yet another day, a bright Sunday, a day that the Lord has made, a day according to the Christian calendar, being set aside as Easter, which represents the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ, though the date is not the right date. But once it has been established by the human calendar, so many of us cherish that moment and celebrate Christ. Some of us also don't celebrate it, but once it is part of this world, a festive season, then all of us are considered to be part of it. So, therefore, we wish you a happy Easter, happy Sunday, and happy Resurrection Day. This wishes comes to you right from no other radio station, no other media than Richmond Media. Thank you for keeping watching us all the time. Thank you for setting aside your precious time for us. At this moment, as usual, I have no other person with me than my precious brother, Mr. Maxwell OWUSU ANSAH. Brother Maxwell, you're welcome to Richmond Media.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your invitation. Thank you.
Today, with me and Mr. OWUSU ANSAH at the studio from Richmond, as our usual topic is health issues. One may ask why this topic? Because there's so many happenings in this world concerning our health, which we need to create an awareness and to promote health so that the time that God has given us, we will be able to live with it and to enjoy the goodness, to enjoy what we have toiled for, so that we will know that indeed we came to this world for a purpose. But that purpose can be established through us, through health promotion, and through awareness. This afternoon, the topic that we are discussing is cancer in the kitchen. What at all is cancer? How do we get cancer from our own kitchen, from our own behaviors, from our own attitude that contribute to cancer? Stay tuned with us. Our friends and family watching us this afternoon, please don't forget to share this program to your brother or sister. So many people are at home today, so therefore we encourage you to share with us, share with them. Whoever is available, let them know that indeed there is a program this afternoon that will benefit every individual. Don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, and please don't forget to like the program as well. Mr. OWUSU ANSAH, thank you for coming once again. Point is the first person using my account to say, hope you do good. And I know you love us, Pong. Thank you. Keep watching us and keep behaving yourself. Mr. Usansa, what is cancer at all, if one may ask or may know of it?
Okay. Thank you very much. And I would say a wonderful welcome to viewers and listeners. Cancer is a medical term used to describe a condition in which um, specific cells, cells of specific parts of the human body, grow or reproduce in um, a manner that would harm the human system. Now, to say further, I would say those cells, they grow uncontrollably. and they affect the functioning of the human system.
Thank you so much for giving us this definition, or the for us to know what cancer or cancerous cells are. So, what at all causes cancer, if I may ask, please?
Okay, so in the human organism, there is constant growth and repair, and then reproduction of basic cells that help in the entire functioning of the um, body. So to say, um, the cells, for example, our skin, what we see, the outer covering, it has basal cells that grow and replenish it. So as we use or we act daily, what we see is being replaced in a very wonderful manner designed by God. And for example, every 2 to 3 days, the gastrointestinal tract, our esophagus, our stomachs, our intestines, they are lining. Every 2 to 3 days, we get new cells coming out of them to replace the old and then the worn out cells. And God designed the human body to function by principle. So, in effect, every cell that is being reproduced has to follow a particular rule or function. And so, when there's a defect in that principle that governs the reproduction or the repair, then um, there comes this state that um, what is happening in the reproduction and then the growth or the repair tends to be harmful to the human organism. I would say that in the 1950s, the DNA, the human DNA, was discovered, and then it was realized that that contained the information and the laid down principles for growth and repair. So every single information of the human trait, um, color or complexion, the height, the cellular functioning pattern, all was discovered in the DNA. And by nature, the DNA is made up of three parts. It is basically a helix type of structure. So it's like a strand, a wound strand. And the outer linings of the strand, being double stranded, is made up of polysaccharides, what we know as the sugars. And then the inner bands are also made up of amino acids, the proteins. And then the outer bands and the inner bands, that is the sugars and the proteins, are bonded or bound together by minerals. And so it can be deduced that um, basically the elements that help the human system, the organism, to grow, repair, and then reproduce is based on these three simple um, materials. So sugars, proteins, and then minerals. So in their basic forms, we would say the glucose, the polysaccharides, the amino acids, and then the minerals. So whatever happens, um, that will affect that rule, that principle, that situation would be able to cause cancer. That means it will cause the regrowth to be uncontrollable and then defective. And basically, the genetic codings are all on the amino acids in the DNA over there. So, say the person's height, the person's hair color, and then even the nature of the hair is being carried by the amino acid on that DNA strand. So whatever happens, that will affect the DNA, will be able to cause an uncontrollable growth or reproduction. And so we end up getting different type of cells that are able to replace what we normally use as humans, and that is what is called cancer. So I would say the causes of cancer would be anything, any element, any substance that will affect the human DNA. And of course, there are lots of substances that affect the functioning or the principle um, governing the human DNA function. Um, Mostly, I would say in our generation now, electromagnetic, electromagnetic fields, and the way they function happen to cause defects in the human system, the cellular reproduction and then regrowth. So um, the devices we are using, the technological devices, mobile phones, computers, and all that, they emit specific radiations that in time become very harmful to the human organism. It affects the DNA, causing defects. So electromagnetic substances cause harm to the DNA and then in turn causes cancer. And also, I would also talk about um, our diet, specifically things that we put into our system, such as stimulants. An example is caffeine. Um, Caffeine has the tendency to interfere with the neurotransmitter actions of the human system. So, for example, when someone takes in caffeine, the body, in its quest to balance the the flow or the its functioning, would wrap around the caffeine. It would wrap minerals such as calcium and magnesium around that caffeine substance. So what has been found out is that mostly people who take in lots of these substances, such as caffeine, they tend to have calcium and magnesium leaking out of their system because these important materials are bound to the caffeine that is being ingested. And when this happens, remember I have said the DNA strand, the amino acids, and then the polysaccharides are bound together by the minerals, such as these calcium and then magnesium. And so when it tends to leak out of the system, then you see that there will be a defect in the DNA, and then subsequent reproduction and then regrowth, you will see the faults over there. So caffeine causes cancer. And then another stimulant is alcohol. Alcohol causes lots of problems for the human body. That purely extracted alcohol. Mostly what it does is it depletes the B vitamins, the vitamin B, that complex. Alcohol depletes it. And vitamins are very vital for the function of the human organism. And so when all these are depleted, it would result in defective DNAs that would cause cancer. We can also talk about substances such as tobacco and many others. That's They work similarly to the alcohol in causing the defect in the DNA. Then we also come back to chemicals in the substances that we use. Substances such as the detergents, the deodorants and the perfumes, the creams that we use. There are substances in them chemicals in them that cause defects in the DNA of the human organism. And so we should be mindful of the products we use. In that, whatever product you use, you have to read and then know the substances used and see if they will be they are harmful or not before you proceed to use them. And then I would finally talk about food in general. Food in and of itself, the food stuff that we use wouldn't be harmful, but there are modernized types called the GMOs, the genetically modified foods. Um, these foods also cause defects in the DNA because um, they do not have the essential minerals, the essential elements needed for the human organism. And all these happen because in their production, they are being staged to function in a different way. Say maybe um, they are being staged to yield more fruits, or to yield more. In that process, the regular or the normal um, time it would take to utilize the minerals in the soil would be affected, and so it could not um, probably get that essential nutrients needed for the human system. And also even the type of or let me say the agricultural practices nowadays all render the foods that we get from our farms very, very defective of minerals and vitamins and essential substances. And if we take them in, then they cause the defect in the DNA, and in turn, you would end up having uncontrollable cell regrowth and cell reproduction. So, the basic or the major things that cause cancer, they are all related to causing defect in the DNA. They are electromagnetic fields from our devices and all the the things we use in our technology nowadays, and then stimulants such as caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and even sugar. I'm not talking about the sugar we get from fruits, but the purely crystallized um, substances that, that we synthesize or extract from plants such as sugarcane. That those refined sugars, they also cause defects in the human DNA. So stimulants, electromagnetic fields, and then chemicals, harmful, poisonous chemicals that affect our foods that we take in. Those are the causes of cancer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. OWUSU ANSAH. Indeed, you know what? I'm so quiet because what you are giving us needs uh, attention. You need to pay attention in order to know or to understand what we are giving you this afternoon. Our friends and family watching us this afternoon, we thank you and we appreciate, we value your precious time spent with us this afternoon. So please keep watching us. Invite someone to also come and learn. You know, it's good to know all these things so that we can apply to our daily lives, so that we will know which way to go in order to prevent ourselves or to protect ourselves from getting some illnesses that can be prevented. At this moment, Mr. Ozansan, we will have a commercial break. Please, if you are watching us this afternoon and you are sending money to Ghana, I recommend one company to you, that is OA Pay Community Shield. Are you a church or an association looking to raise funds for your welfare? OAPay has a deal for you. your church, shop, restaurant, or association can get monthly donations from OAPay if you and other members send money with OAPay. Members will also get extra £5 on their first transaction. You can use this promotion code that will give you the allowances that we are talking about, which is Rich More. If you have any issues or how to transfer your money through OA Pay Community Shield, please contact us now to get started. Info at oneafrica.io, or you can call us on, if you're calling from outside UK, it's +44 7960568295. If you are in the UK, you can call us on 07960568295. Please do use OA Pay Community Shield and you will get extra in order to save money for your various activities. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. I recommend no other station to you than Richmore Media. You are watching us live on Facebook, on YouTube, and you are listening to us on radio as well. Keep watching us and listening to us. And at the end of the program, we have a deal for you. Today, we're going to give out some goodies. It might be you, it might be another person. So please keep watching us. Don't forget to send comments to improve this program. Your comment will help us to shape up this program in order to have a magnetic, a solid program for the future. Thank you and keep watching us. Mr. ANSAH, it is really, really good to have you this afternoon. We appreciate you all the time, today and forevermore, as you continue to be with Ritual. So what are some of the individual, do I say, factors, our own contribution to cancer? How do we as individuals contribute to cancer?
Okay, so in answer to that, I would say it will be the choices we make daily, the individual choices we make concerning all the activities of daily living, the choices we make, they result in some of these conditions. I have once said that one great scientist has said genetics can obviously load the gun, but your lifestyle would pull the trigger. Um, and this is explained as you might have, or the defect might have already occurred. You might have a defective DNA, but your lifestyle, the choices you make, and the things you put into your system would definitely result in such these conditions. So individual choices like the ingestion of these stimulants, when one ingests takes in these stimulants such as caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, and the defect occurs in the DNA, then definitely it will result in a specific type of cancer. And then our diets, the type of food we eat, that could also result in the cancers. And then since I talked about electromagnetism, when one is not mindful of the way he or she uses these technological devices, in the country I am from, there have been instances where people take lump sums of money and allow network service operators, providers to stage up or build those kind of huge systems in their living area, which is very, very dangerous. The kind of forces, radiation that are emitted from some of these devices, they are very, very harmful. And so we should be very mindful. Some people sleep with their mobile phones under their pillows, which is very bad because considering the type of emission that comes out of the mobile phones, you can even attest to the fact that if you use it for a while, it heats up. The phone becomes hot. It is those kind of emissions, those radiations that cause that. So if you sleep with your mobile phone under your pillow, some people keep it near their like on their chest in their pockets. Those are very, very dangerous. There are supposed to be set times in the day that you use your phone. You shouldn't be on the phone or holding the phone throughout the day, like for the 24 hours. That is very, very harmful. So you have to have times that you take up the phone, you use, you put it back down. There are some sophisticated devices, modernized, like new ones, such as the televisions we use, the PCs, all those. You have to have a routine, set times in the day that you get closer to all those um, devices, or else you might get cancer. You might. So those are also the ways that individuals we contribute um, to the fact that we end up in these situations. So we should be very, very mindful, and also talking about the chemicals, the products we use, the topical ones, and all other things. Even the medications, we have to seek counsel from our healthcare practitioners before we use all those things to see if um, they are right for us or not. So those are the things that individuals do that contribute to they getting cancer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Owusu. We know we are all at fault. Most of us, when we talk of mobile phones nowadays, my best friend is a mobile phone, and I think you watching me, yours is as well. Even when you go to restaurant, when everyone is busy eating, you see, so everyone is just got their phone, still communicating on
Yeah,
it. It has become part of us, but how do we use it?
sure.
That is where we fall short.
Yeah,
We have to know that how to keep it in order for us not to get complications related to that, because cancer is something that when you get it, something it's hard. It's not many people that really get out of it.
yeah, very
So
difficult to
today
fight.
the topic that we are discussing with you is cancer in the kitchen. How does it contribute? How does our various attitude, our individual behaviors contribute to cancer? And how does our own kitchen, whatever we do in our various home, whatever we cook, whatever we eat, how does it contribute to cancer? We are creating awareness. We are not giving you any treatment from this platform. We are creating awareness and promoting health. That is our major concern. So that we don't get into it, because when you get into it, it's hard to get back, or it's hard to get out of it. Let's protect ourselves and to prevent ourselves from getting into a condition like cancer. Obrimpon says you are doing well, keep on doing great. Thank you, Obrimpon, for giving us the time and for keeping your promises that you will not misbehave, so that we can have a nice program that will benefit every individual. Ms. Oziansa, at this moment, how can we know some of the types of cancer so that we'll be familiar with those terms around us. So many people have got some conditions relating to cancer that we don't know. When they mention the name, we don't even know what it is. But at least, though we don't have it, we can be familiar with it so that sometimes even the name itself, put some fear in you, that tells you how to live a healthy life. Yeah, so that you don't get close to that name. So what are some of the types of cancer? We might not get all of them, but
Yeah.
some of
Okay.
them that you can let us know so that we will be
Okay.
familiar with that.
Okay. Thank you very much. So there is a general umbrella under which all the other types are grouped or classified. So that general umbrella has four types, and each of them is related to a specific functioning of the human system. So tissues and their specific functions. The first one I will talk about is known as, in the medical terms, is carcinoma. Um, Carcinomas are cancers of the epithelial and all the other things lining either organs or tissues in the human system. So a carcinoma begins in the skin or the tissue that covers the surface of an internal organ or a gland. Yeah, sure. So and mostly they end up forming solid masses. So we can talk about cancers of the prostate, of the breast, of the lung, of the colon, or the colorectal cancer. All these are carcinomas because they begin in the lining of that particular tissue, and mostly they end up forming solid masses. So for the breast cancer, a way to say diagnose or realize a defect is by feeling for hard or solid masses. Yeah, that's occur in the breast. It's the same with the prostate, the lungs. When investigations are made, you will see that there are solid masses in all those areas that have the carcinoma. And then the second one is the sarcoma. Those also happen or occur in the connective tissues. So they begin in the tissues that support and connect the body. It can develop in the fats or fatty tissues, in the muscles, in the nerves, in the tendons, in the joints, in the blood vessels, and then the lymph vessels. It can also develop in the cartilages and bones. So cancers of the connective tissues are majorly grouped as a sarcoma. And then there is also one that is called leukemia. That one is mostly restricted to the blood. So leukemias are cancers of the blood, and they begin when healthy blood cell um, change and grow uncontrollably. So and we all know that, and then it has been discussed that the blood carries the nutrition for the vitalization of the cells. And so if the blood is defective, wherever it goes, um, we can have these problems. So there is the acute lymphocytic leukemia, myeloid leukemia, and others. So those are also one group. And then the last or the fourth under the general umbrella is the lymphomas. Those are cancers that begin or occur in the lymphatic system. And the lymph or the lymphatic system is a network of vessels and glands that help fight infection. So, when cancer occurs in any of these tissues of the lymphatic system, then that is classified as a lymphoma. So, we have Hodgkin's lymphoma and then the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, those are the four major um, classifications. So, any other type of cancer can be grouped under one of these four. So we have, as I've said, the carcinomas, the sarcomas, the leukemia, and then the lymphomas. Those are the major categorizations. So you mentioned a type of cancer; it can be related to any of these four, depending on the function and the location and the type, the nature of the tissue involved. That's it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Uzansa. If you've not heard anything today, up to this point, you've heard that there are four types of cancer, or there are four ways or four individual groups that cancer is being classified under, which we have the carcinoma, the sarcoma, the leukemia, and then the lymphoma. So, any type of cancer that someone is got or which has been diagnosed will definitely be under one of these umbrellas. Thank you, Mr. Owusu Ansa. Mr. George Owusu Bequin says, good afternoon to you all. Happy Easter and keep up the health issues program. Thank you, Brother George, for your time always being spent with us. We really appreciate you today and we really appreciate you all the time. And we will continue to appreciate you as you keep watching us. Whoever is watching us this afternoon, you are watching us from Richmond Media, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and you can listen to us as well live as the program is being processed or ongoing. Then that's what I can say. If you keep watching us, there is always something good that you will get. Even if you don't get anything, you will know ways of how to live a healthy life in order not to get some conditions which are irreversible. Let's keep ourselves healthy. Let's live a healthy life. Let's keep away from getting some conditions that will lead us into cancerous diseases. This afternoon, we are watching us from Richmond Media, bringing you health issues to your doorsteps. Cancer in the Kitchen with Mr. Owusu Ansah. Mr. Owusu Ansah, I'm also learning. People don't know that we are all learning together because there are some things that, though we are familiar with it, sometimes we forget if you don't study. Because if you don't keep your brain active, definitely you will forget about whatever you have studied before. So let's all continue to join hands together by inviting our various family members and friends to join us so that they can also benefit from this program. Don't forget to share, like, and comment. And if you comment, we will definitely acknowledge you. At this moment, how does the kitchen itself contribute to cancer, please?
Okay. So when we get into our kitchens, the various things we use and then the things we get into or put into our system. So I can say I can start from the devices being used over there. Um, Due to technology, cooking and then making of various delicacies have become way easier and faster. However, we should be very, very mindful of how we use those devices. So we have devices that emit radiation, harmful radiations in the kitchen. So, as we have talked about radiation causing cancer or electromagnetic energies causing cancer, we should be very mindful of the things at inside our kitchen that um, are emitting these substances. So, we can talk of or about devices like the microwave, the refrigerators, and others. In as much as they help us in a way in keeping our food, making the food preparation easier and quicker, we should be very mindful of how we use these devices. Yeah, so that's one. So when we get into the kitchen, the devices involved, we should know how to go about them. Um, Funny enough, most of us we get these devices and we don't read the notes attached. Some of the devices, there are specific ways to place them, like to put them to use. For example, refrigerators. Um, the one I use in the manual, there's a specific position that it has to. It doesn't have to go very close to the wall, or else the emissions will hit the wall, and then the amount of heat produced will be so great that it can be harmful. So as I am describing, there are ways that manufacturers want us to use those devices, and we should um, be alert and aware of those ways, and then go according to the principles governing the usage of such devices, or else we are going to find ourselves developing defective DNAs. And then um, now moving from the devices, we have to look at the type of substances we use. I have realized that one of the things that cause cancer in our kitchen nowadays is the inorganic spices. The inorganic spices. I don't want to name a specific brand, but we should try as much as possible to use the natural spices in their natural forms. The inorganic synthesized ones, they are harmful. Firstly, they do not possess or have the right type of nutrition for our human body. And so we should be very, very, very mindful of their usage. Inorganic spices, they cause cancer. And then the other chemicals, such as the detergents we use, some of us we just let me say maybe after using our utensils, we don't just clean them and then keep them in store for use. We keep them in their soil state, and then during our next meal or our next preparation, we quickly use the detergents and then clean them, not rinsing them properly, and then straight after that we use them for our foods, the preparation. Those acts are very, very harmful. So if you get even the minutest amount of those detergents, chemicals into your food, it's going to cause harm to you. So we should be very also mindful of that. Um, After washing our utensils with those detergents, we have to use liberal amount of water to rinse it very well, and then we can either air dry or allow the sun to dry it, and then afterwards we can store them properly for the next usage. And now going on to the foods that we eat. We've been talking about this for some time now. We always have to go in for um, food or foodstuff that have the right um, amount or the right type of essential nutrients for us. And we should totally avoid the stimulants. The stimulants, we should avoid them as much as we can because those are the causative factors. Stimulants, that's pure crystallized acid extracted from the sugarcane plant. That's crystal sugar, the the refined ones. One meeting at
Hello, Mr. Osansa. Our friends and family, you are watching us right from Richmond Media. Please don't forget to share, subscribe, and to like the program as well as we are waiting for Mr. Osansa. We will acknowledge Sister, our dear sister, Nana Efia Papa B. Nana Efia, thank you so much for watching us from Hamburg. Wherever you are watching us, ladies and gentlemen, it is really a good program. So why don't you invite others, your family members, your friends, to join us as they also get their part from this program. Mr. Jojo Queen says, good afternoon to you all. Happy Easter and keep up the health issues program. Thank you, brother. As you keep watching us, we will keep going until we get to where we have to get to. But where we have to get to has no end. Thank you. Nana Efia is giving us a handshake. Thank you so much, Nana Efia. We really appreciate all of you. Please, if you don't send a message, even hi, we will be able to acknowledge you. Else, we don't know who is watching us. But at this moment, I know Papa is watching us from Amsterdam. Papa, thank you so much for everything that you are doing for us. And thank you for watching us all the time, Papa Nico from Amsterdam. I saw him yesterday, and Papa, we love you so much. And to everyone watching us, I know Uncle Peter is also watching us from Amsterdam. Uncle Peter, thank you for watching us and keep sharing the good news to others so that everyone will be able to have a part of this program. Whoever is watching us, wherever you are watching us from, Sister Pabi usually watches us. I don't know if she is still on. Sister Pabi, if you are on, let me know that you are on so that we will acknowledge you. Today we have something to give out. At least if you are able to give something to one person, I know the program will still continue, and that will also encourage others to always come on, because apart from you getting something to live on, to know what to do in order to promote your own health, we also have something for you in addition to it. So please keep watching us all the time and spread the news to others. This is a good news. Cancer in the kitchen. How do we get cancer in the kitchen? Mr. OWUSU has enlightened us on the things that contribute to cancer. Mr. OWUSU, welcome back. And please, you may continue. Thank you.
okay. Thank you very much. So, um, I would say we should stay away um, from the stimulants, and I was talking about the um, refined sugar. That poses threats to our DNA, so we should be very mindful of that. In place of that, we have natural uh, sugars that we can use. So we should try as much as possible to stay off the refined sugar. It in its function in the human system, it binds itself to lots of the minerals, and it causes a depletion in the body's stores of minerals. So we should be very very mindful of that. And then, as I've been saying for some time now, we should stick to mostly or majorly readily when we think about food, it should be the whole foods, the plant-based foods. I've talked about that: the grains, the seeds, the nuts, the vegetables. Those are foods that have the required or essential nutrients for the human system. Someone may ask that what if they have been affected by the chemicals around? There are ways of getting them safe for use, um, which I would talk about later. Um, so we should stick to those foods. And then when it comes to the animal sources of food, as I've said, we should stay clear of the food that contain the harmful cholesterols. We should be very, very mindful of those foods that have harmful cholesterols, because when the defect occurs in the DNA, the body tries to compensate, replenish it, and it uses the the essential ones, the ones it recognizes as useful. Those are what the body use. So if you got a synthetic um, thing, element or substance in there, then that wouldn't help. That would even cause further damage. So we should be very mindful of those. So in summary, in our kitchen, what we should be doing is taking note of the devices used over there, the chemicals used over there, staying clear of the stimulants and harmful substances, and then um, always taking in the rightful sources of food that would help us. That is what we are supposed to do to help us prevent that um, dangerous situation or health condition known as cancer. Because I've come to know that cancer is not an easy condition to fight. It's very, very harmful. So it is better we involve ourselves in acts of prevention than to wait till it occurs and then we are now going to fight. And for those of us and of our relatives who have these conditions or already, I would say we should take heart and then um, be sticking to the laid down plan of our practitioners. If we think we need um, clarification of anything at all, we should ask so that we do the right thing in order to help the healing process. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wusansan, friends and family. It is really a good time spent with us, and um, we continue to share the program with everyone, as health issues is very important. Promoting health, and then at the same time creating awareness so that everyone or someone who doesn't know, there are some people that don't have any idea of what we are talking about, though we may think that this condition is a popular one that everyone should know, but someone doesn't even know that keeping all these devices that you have mentioned can cause harm, which will lead to cancer. But today we know about it. What are we doing to prevent ourselves from getting it? As now on both health issues, and then from the beginning, we pick one person each month to be good and kind to that person. So please, if you are watching us or listening to us, just type hi so that we will know who is watching us, so that we can pick you at a certain point in time. We can pick you all of you at the same time, but one person at a time. Today, I know Mr. George Owusu is been watching us almost all the program. Even if he goes out, he still connects us to watch it. So, Mr. Owusu, you've won a voucher for fruits and vegetables. This will encourage everyone to keep watching us all the time. You've won a voucher from this program, Health Issues. The voucher is to help you, to encourage you to eat healthy foods by getting few fruits and vegetables in addition to what you have already got. So when we finish, I will contact you. For you, I have your contact, so I will not say that you should give your number to Richmond Media. I will contact you and see how we can get the voucher over to your doorsteps. As Richmond does nothing but deliver whatever we promise. So keep watching us. It might be you the next month, at the end of every month or the beginning. It could be any day within the month. We pick one person to do good to you. Mr. Wusiansa, as we are coming to the end of the program, what are some of the foods that you think it will help our viewers? It will help all of us to live healthy life that will contribute to health promotion, that will help us to live longer so that we can enjoy the fruits of our labor. What are some of the foods that you think can contribute to that?
Okay.
Thank you.
So, interestingly enough, all the research that I am privy to, I have gained knowledge of, they all put it out that when cancer fighting foods are being considered, they are mostly, not even mostly, all the time coming from the plant source. So the cancer fighting foods, they are foods that have, they are loaded with what is called medically as phytochemicals or phytonutrients. And most of these foods that contain these phytonutrients are plant based foods. So, at the top of those foods are the greens, the green foods such as the broccoli and the other vegetables that are green and leafy. And then you also come to foods such as the berries, the tomatoes, and then the nuts, walnuts, almond, those nuts. And then you can also look at other um, vegetables. But in all, they are classified as the vegetables, the fruits, the grains, the seeds, and then the nuts. So, um, depending on where you find yourself, whatever is considered as a nut that is edible, provided you don't react to it, you can stick to that food. Whatever is considered a seed or a grain in your area that is edible, you have to use it, provided you don't react to it or it doesn't affect you in a negative way. You can use those. So the seeds, the grains, the nuts, the fruits, and then the vegetables are the cancer fighting foods. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wusansa. At this moment, we have to acknowledge Ellen Ochiri Ekuma watching us from Belgium. Thank you for watching us and keep watching us. Yeah, hello, lovely people. That's what my Oli Ekuma is saying. She's very beautiful and kind person. And Mr. George Owusu, don't forget that you have a voucher from Richmond Media Health Issues coming right to your doorstep. Thank you so much. Today, if we've heard nothing, we've heard of cancer in the kitchen. And there are 4 types of cancer, which is carcinoma, sarcoma, the leukemia and lymphoma, and all types of cancers are being classified under these groups. So whatever cancer that you have been diagnosed of, is classified under one of these categories. But what can we do to help ourselves, to help every individual? If to make sure that we promote health, create awareness so that if you haven't gotten yourself into this condition, you'll be able to look after yourself well by taking care when you go to the kitchen, watching whatever you take in, whatever you eat, and also whatever you wear, whatever you come in contact with, by being too friendly to our mobile phones and other electrical devices. Today, we had with us Mr. OWUSU ANSAH. Thank you so much for coming to us, and thank you for giving us this in-depth understanding of cancer in the kitchen. And we hope to see you again the same time next week. Mr. OWUSU ANSAH, thank you so much. God bless you. We hope to see you again. My name is Hanna Bimah. Thanks for watching us from Richmond Media.
Safu bafu na ada na adu nsa su ma no say minwam say ebiri